Hi and welcome to Reseller News. My name is Rjpasini. Today's date is March 6, 2018, and today I'm going to go over some topics that deal with eBay, Etsy, and PayPal in some cases, but this is the Reseller News and it's for those who are in the reselling business. So without further ado, let's get to it. I'm going to bump out of the screen here and I'm going to move over here, and here we have, for the first one, we got Braun Strowman's broken double base just sold for almost $1,500 on eBay. 3 weeks ago, a Raw Braun Strowman used the double base as a weapon, smashing the comically large instrument over Elisha's back in a memorable segment that was the way better than it should have been. I'm not familiar with this guy, whoever he is. This is the first time I'm reading about it, and that's why I'm sharing it with you guys. It says over here, 3 weeks later, a piece of that item was sold on eBay for $1,425. All right, and you auctioned it around 7:30 p.m. Pacific time. Somebody apparently bought it. Right, it says over here with 104 bids and a piece of Strowman's double base, which inspired Monday Night Sympathy of the destruction match against Elias on Raw and had garnered the most bids of any currently listed on WW official eBay auction page. The final bidding price was $1,425, is the second only to the woman's Money in the Bank commemorative briefcase autographed by inaugural winner Carmella, which sold for $2,250. If you would like to finish reading this story, folks, you could check it out on Forbes.com. And I'm not going to give you the whole link over here, but just check it out. You can just type in Braun Strowman's broken double base that's sold on eBay, and you can check that out as well. Moving right along, Snapchat. It says over here, Snapchat spectacles on UK, buy them for less than on eBay. I didn't know you guys. Like I said, I'm not too familiar. I know of Snapchat, but I didn't know you could sell stuff on there, but apparently you can. It says Snapchat spectacles built by Snap Inc. are now available in the UK and Europe, but where they weren't quite as well received as Snap might have liked, meaning you can now buy the Snapchat glasses for less. Here's how, and then it tells you a little about it. I don't know. Apparently you could buy it for less than eBay, but I'm not. To me, I'll be honest with you, they don't do it for me. These look like little headlights over here. I don't know what they are. I don't know if they're supposed to be like those Google glasses there that they came out with the fiber, with the little camera there. I don't know if that's what these are. However, it is what it is. If you want to check it out, you're more than welcome. You can go to trustedreviews.com, and you can just type in Snapchat, and you could just look for the glasses on there. And we're going to keep moving right along here. Over here, another one with a guitar. It says on eBay, the world's first electric bass guitar, forgotten and made in Seattle. It is called the Audiovox 736 electric bass guitar, and it was made in the basement of a Roosevelt District home of Paul Tomark, along with other guitars that Tomark electrified. Apparently, it's sold on eBay, I believe. Let me see if I read the whole story here. I didn't get a chance to read all of this here. It says over here, okay, history of the full of could haves, and should haves on eBay right now. Current high bid is $20,000. Is one of the most historical could haves. Okay, you can read the rest of the story here, folks. Like I said, I'm not going to go into this whole thing. I don't read all the websites, web pages on the Reseller News verbatim, so you can check it out for yourself. And apparently this is something that I'm sure a lot of resellers out there are going to be looking for if they come across it. I know I will. If it's in my travels, I will check it out. However, whoever does have it and does sell them, depending how many there are made, I wouldn't mind checking into. I wouldn't mind buying it, but again, it'd probably be up there, But I'm sure there are going to be collectors out there that may be looking. I don't know. Again, I don't know. This is one of the world's first, so apparently maybe it's just this one. But if there are any other ones out there that this gentleman made, I'm sure they will be snatched up. We'll see. I don't know. But anyway, let's move right along. Here, eBay's marketplace is expected to do well in 2018. Well, you know what? I'm sure eBay may do well in 2018. I don't know how I'm going to be doing in 2018. I can't speak for the rest of the sellers, but right now my sales have been kind of like flatlining at some point. Up and down, but mostly flatlining. So let's see what happens as the time progresses. It's a little slow this month for March. I'm kind of surprised, but we'll see. Moving right along. eBay indicates seller response to response time to best offers. Now, on all my ads, I have 350 something listings right now. If you were to go to all my listings, you will notice that I have best offers on all of them. And I'll be honest with you, whenever a person makes an offer, I mean, unless I step out of the house or I'm on a road or whatever where I can't answer the best offer right away, I respond to it right away. Okay, and my reason for that there is because if you don't respond to it, and the buyer is on the other end waiting for you to respond, and you're like, just dilly-dallying along, I'll take my time, I'll respond to them later on, maybe I'll respond to them, tomorrow or whatever, you may lose that sale. So whenever a response comes in, I respond to it instantly, especially if I'm in front of the computer. I do not make the buyer wait. It says over here, eBay is running a test which displays a message inside listings showing how long it takes for the seller to respond to the best offers. For example, a seller responds to offers in 1 hour. It varies. Sometimes it's more than 1 hour. eBay had announced a new feature, and the boards lit up with questions and concern. It says over here, one seller suggested eBay add the word "typically" to the message, as a buyer, and I expect a response in 1 hour. If I saw that text, I would suggest an adjustment to the wording. Seller typically responds to offers in 1 hour. Then it says over here, an eBay moderator confirmed it was a test and said that estimated response time is determined based on the seller's behavior over the past year. You can read more about this, in Monday's news flash article, along with another news test which eBay encourages sellers to lower the prices on the items that are in buyers' shopping carts. I have been lowering prices. I've been doing a lot at them. Matter of fact, I just updated some of my listings, folks, and I put a lot of free free shipping, and I got a few little things, nothing to write home about, but I did get a few little sales as soon as I did update the listings with free shipping. So we'll see how it goes. Not everything is. At first I had them all, and then I started looking back at all the stuff I had, and I said, you know what? Can't do it. I can't, because the items I bought, and if I offered free shipping plus with best offer, I'd really be taking a big loss on it. So some of the ones I did have free shipping on, I had to take it off. Unfortunately, that's the way it is. But the buyer still has the opportunity to make the best offer. Okay, and now if you want to read this story, folks, it's you go to ecommercebytes.com and you could check it out. Just type in there about the seller response. You could just, you could do it it'll bring it up. You don't have to worry about it. You don't have to go crazy, but you could just look up the stories there. It's usually on our website. This is e-commerce bytes. Okay, let's move right along. Let's see here. What's going on here? Okay, let me move this one here. I'm sorry, folks. I got these different windows here. Let's see. Is this the one here? Sellers caught between eBay and the states over sales tax. It says over here, eBay offers sellers a table to help them set their tax rates for each state in which they may be required to collect taxes. And it's asking some sellers who collect sales tax proof that they authorized to collect the taxes. Now, I read this story the other day. I did read this one here, and for some people were saying there's a thread over here that's right over here. You could read this thread that someone had typed in, I guess, on the community board, the chat board, and it was saying this thread was kind of old. I don't know. I haven't gotten any authorization or any notification from eBay stating that they want to see proof that you are charging taxes. Now, if you're in a Nexus, what I believe they call it Nexus state, the only thing the way I understand it, and I could be wrong, if you're doing business, like I live in New York, so by doing business in New York, any purchases made in New York will be, I have to collect the sales tax and submit it over to, the tax department. But as far as other places, like throughout the states, I don't know. That's going to be a nightmare if that is the case, if they ever do make it where we have to collect sales tax in all states. That's going to be a lot of work, and that's going to be really time consuming to try to get all your papers and everything in order. I'm not saying that's what's going to happen. I don't know. But if it is, that's going to be a problem. But this one here, they're just talking about, it says over here in December we wrote about an obvious case of fraud involving sellers who were collecting sales tax. For example, we noted a seller charged 12% sales tax for every single state. Some states don't even charge sales tax. Now, if you're going to charge sales tax and keep the money, that's wrong. Okay, now you're going against the you're going against the rule or the laws of the land, so to speak. So if you live in, like I said, I live in New York, and I do have all the sales that I collect sales tax from the New York residents that will be submitted to the tax department. However, what this person did here, charged 12% in every single state. I don't know how the person got away with that there, and that's crazy. So check into it. I don't know. Again, I understand that they had a thing where eBay had sent a notification in regards to this here to try to block that type of thing where people have to collect sales tax in all states. I don't know what's what's happening with that. If it's still got to go through the government and see if that's going to get okayed or not. I don't know. The way I understand it right now, the way I'm doing it, at least I'm going to find out from my tax company too, tax department, is all the sales that are made in New York will be collected and should go to the tax, New York tax, the taxation department. So we'll see what happens with that there. But this is what this article came out. This is Sunday, March 4th, 2018. So it's not old news, folks. I mean, it might be a couple days old, but it's not old, like last a couple months back. So you might want to check into this here, and you could read this article again. It's on e-commerce bites, okay? And what you're looking for is seller's quote between eBay and the states over sales tax, okay? And you could check it out. You could read it. Here's the thread. If you see the thread about this on the eBay boards, let's see. We click it on here. If we can get this here, my computer's kind of run a little slow here, so bear with me, folks. I'm sorry about that. Yeah, it's in the eBay community board here. It says over here, eBay needs to verify your permits for collecting sales tax. And this person's writing over here. These are people, and you could sign up with this too as you want to. You could also reply, and you could also add to it if whatever. It says, I received a message from eBay about tax permits. Is anyone familiar with this? Since I am a drop shipping from Amazon, I'm just passing taxes on to the buyers of what I am charged. Anyone knows what to do. And then you can see, and some people respond to it, and it says over here, now here's somebody else that's replying or making a reply. It says eBay needs to verify your permits for collecting sales tax. And then it says over here on the bottom, you can only collect sales tax in the state in which you are located and have no physical presence. Then you would need to remit the sales tax collected to the correct states. See, this one here is kind of a little odd here the way it says it. It's like a question here. It's saying you need to remit sales tax collected to the correct states. The way I understand it right now is until that law gets passed, that if you live in a state where you're doing business, that you collect the taxes in that state. But don't hold me. I'm not a tax attorney. I'm not a lawyer. I don't know. I'm not an accountant. So you have to talk to your accountants about this. I'm only telling you what I'm reading here. Okay. So just keep that in mind, folks. This tax season's coming up, so just be aware of what's going on with that part going on. Anyway, let's move right along here. Let's bump out of this. And the case over here, there's another one, the case of the vanishing eBay listings. Dear Ina, we have been on eBay since nearly day one, a seller for the better part of that time. While we have much success on eBay, I see an issue with eBay losing listings that started for us in 2017. By that I mean the listings vanish as if it never existed. Then it goes on over here. It says it doesn't matter if it's really moving. It doesn't matter if it's really moving listing sales, wise or not, or hot listing selling big numbers. It just vanishes. I never experienced anything like that. I don't know if you guys have. Your listings just disappear. That's not for me. I never really experienced anything like that. So if you guys experienced anything like that and you want to share it with us, please do. And again, you can read the story and e-commerce bites. Let's bump out of here. Here's another one. Let's see, what's this one? Let's get rid of that first. I'm sorry, folks. I'm going back and forth here. Sales tax chaos has been unleashed on sellers. This came out on March 4th, too, of 2018. It says Amazon and Etsy began collecting Washington state tax sales tax on behalf of the third-party merchants this year in a move that would caught many sellers by surprise. Next up, Pennsylvania, all thanks to the marketplace facilitators laws. Again, this thing with the taxing is going to be a big thing here. I guess we're all waiting to see what goes on. It says sealers are dealing with the regulation of a number of fronts heading to into 2018, including ongoing efforts by states to force out-of-state sellers to collect sales tax on the items shipped to the buyers in their states. Complicating matters are different approaches the states are taking. All I know, again, this is something that you guys want to look into. You know, if this is what I'm thinking is, it's going to be a nightmare to me anyway. I'm not too crazy about it. I understand probably the brick and mortar stores are concerned about it, that, you know, people are making sales, and people are buying, you know, that are within those states. Instead of buying from their brick and mortar stores, they're going out of the state to buy them where they get, you know, you're not getting charged sales tax. If they make this a mandatory thing where we have to start collecting in all these states, you know, that's going to be a problem. I don't know how that's going to work. I think by something like that happening, I think a lot of people may start bumping out of this type of business because it may be too complicated. But then again, I am wrong. I'm only speaking on my own behalf. Let me know what you think. Drop a comment in the comment there. Let me know. Share with us. See what I'd like to get your feedback as well. Let's move right along. Okay, here we have over here, Katie's Price fans have slated a baby, and I don't know who Katie Price is. Okay, it says Katie Price fans have slated a baby grow. She's trying to sell on her baby as filthy and told it needs an iron. I don't know this person, to be honest with you. Looking at this picture here, I wouldn't even waste my time putting this up on eBay. To me personally, that's not for me. Family shop, Armani, unisex, white baby vest, bodysuit, on toy, dice, whatever. I know what you guys think about it. You can read up on it. That's in the sun.co.uk. I didn't even bother seeing the listing here. Let's see if they even have a listings where you can look at to see if it's even active right now. This here looks like it was something for Instagram. Katie Price fans accused her of trying to sell filthy baby grow. I don't know. Let's see. The model selling her children's clothes. Okay. I'm not even. I'll be honest with you, folks. I'm not even familiar with this person. But you could check it out yourself. You could read it. I'm not going to get too into it. And that's basically it. That covers up the reseller news here, folks. I hope you got something out of this here. For the most part, I try to do these reseller news on occasion. I don't do them every day. There was a time I wanted to do them every day, but I don't want to bore you people out there. So if you do like the reseller news, if you get anything out of it, little tips, you know, that or something, that little ideas or something that may be of interest, please share it with me, and please subscribe to my channel. I hope this stuff helps out. I do this, like I said, to give you guys who are involved in reselling or involved in e-commerce, whatever, to try to give you a little insight of what's out there and what's going on in the eBay world, so to speak. I don't know how you guys are doing right now. Just a little segue into my situation. Sales have been not too good. I did, like I said earlier in this segment here, I did offer a lot of free shipping on a lot of things, but so do a lot of other sellers. But for some apparent reason, it's been really extremely slow for me. I don't know how you guys are doing out there. I don't know what else to do. I've been dropping prices, and I know there's been a couple other resellers out there that say this, they're going through the same thing, very slow. Some people have no sales or little sales, if any, and that's right now going on with me. I do want to liquidate the items I have. I probably won't be doing too many sneak peek videos, because I am putting a hold on my buying. And I don't know if any of you guys seen my video I posted yesterday about, are your eBay fees outpacing your sales? I know it's a long video, it's almost an hour long, I do cover topics in there and stuff like that. I go over, I mean, talking about some websites that may be of help to somebody that's trying to break into this business. And that's why I did the video. It's not so much to bash anybody or to make any derogative statements to anybody in particular. I'm talking about, people, other sellers or anything of that nature. I just put this out. I did that video for the simple reason is to, enlighten people. I don't want anybody to take offense to it. If there's anything I said in there that you didn't understand or like or whatever, it's not meant to be, discouraging in any way. I tell it like it is, and that's why, like I said, when I do that, when I did that video, like I said, I did it with good intentions. I try to, help people out in ways where it's beneficial to them. I don't want to see people get stuck, and again, not to keep talking about that topic, but there have been a lot of people that have been buying into these things here, and later on, they find out later on it's a loss. I'm not saying for people, or I'm not trying to discourage anybody from trying to get into this business. The only thing I say with getting involved with it is, as I said in that video yesterday, don't quit your day job. If you're going to do this, do it on a part-time basis. Try selling items you have at home. I'm sure you're going to hear that from a lot of other resellers out there, people that have been doing this for a long time. They're going to probably tell you the same thing. Or then they'll tell you where to get the stuff. You go to your local thrift stores, Salvation Army, Goodwills, and so on and so forth, yard sales, garage sales, and so on and so forth. It's the same format, folks. It's like, what's they say, with an egg, you could only cook cook an egg so many different ways, so to speak. It's the same thing. I mean, no matter how you toss the coin, it's the same way. There's really no secret formula to this here. You either get your sourcing or you get your items from thrift stores, or if you buy direct, you deal direct with the manufacturers. Okay, and in some cases that could be a nightmare too, depending if it's coming from overseas, and then they have their minimum quantities. So if you see like a little widget that you think, oh, this might sell on eBay, and you look at the requirements, they may want you to buy 100 or 1,000 pieces, whatever, at so much money. And for the average person like myself, I can't afford to do stuff like that. I can't afford to go out and buy, those type of items like that from manufacturers. I wish I could. I'm just not in the budget, and that's what I'm trying to say. A lot of people get into these type of scenarios where they're watching other people, and when you're seeing other people, saying, I did this much in sales this month, or this is how much I made in a year. I'm not saying, and again, I'm not putting those people down or making any derogative statements. All I'm saying is, believe what you see and only half of what you hear. Okay? Now, I'm not saying the person who's telling you they made $30,000 or $10,000 or $100,000 a month, I'm not telling you, that to tell them, well, I want proof. Let me see your financial statements. Let me see your banking account. Did you really make $100,000? Did you really make $30,000 that month? Did you make $10,000 that month? I'm not asking for proof, but I'm just at the same time, I'm not one that, when I hear numbers like that, I get all excited and jump into it, saying, oh, I got to definitely do it, because, let's face the facts. There's a lot of people doing the same thing. Like I said in the video, you have Shopify, you got Obolo, and then you got these, like I said in that video, you got Wix that say, oh, start your own website and start making money. I'm not saying those things are bad. I have a website. I did my own. I didn't go through Wix. I'm sure Wix is a good company to deal with, especially if you're new and you're trying to start out in this business. You may want to check into that. But for the most part, all I'm saying is, whatever service is out there, whatever place is out there, and they're telling you this, that, and the other thing, proceed with caution. And I can't stress it enough. If you're going to go into this business, folks, especially for younger people, I read an article not long ago that they're saying that a lot of college students now, they want to, I don't know what college it was or where the statistics came from. I remember reading it was on the internet, although you got to worry sometimes what you read on the internet, but it was I think it was from a reliable source. I don't know if it was from one of those news agencies, whatever. And it was saying something that a lot of millennials or people in college, they want to quit their jobs and they want to go into their own business. Basically, I think the tech sector, they want to do their own tech, they want to have their own tech business. There's nothing, I'm not saying there's anything wrong with it, but I mean, to quit your job or quit school and to pursue something like this, you might want to make sure you got a rock solid plan for yourself. You know, like they say, those who fail to plan to fail. You know, and figure everything out on pencil and paper. You know, I mean, don't just go into it haphazardly and say, oh, you know, I'm going to go into this business here. I'm going to sign up with this company here because so and so made this much money and this guy did that and she did this. And you know, sometimes you got to be creative. Really, to share with you I have get this magazine. It's called the Internet Retailer. Internet Retailer. And this lady, and this is original, okay? It's original, but again, until it actually picks up, you know, people catch on to it. She's a grandmother of for a granddaughter. She wanted to make a birthday gift for her. So what she made was fins, like a mermaid, like a little mermaid fin, whatever. You slide it on, I guess. I don't know if you go into the pool with it, I would think. And anyway, it turned out to be that she started making these here, and this is an eBay success story. And the person, within years as time went on, the business, she said she sold out a whole bunch of them, okay? And she was stitching them up at home, making them at home, I guess, whatever. And she said, I believe she started with 100, and all 100 sold, okay? These mermaid fin things. People may be familiar with it, might know what I'm talking about. Anyway, going forward, years later, it's a $10 million a year business, okay? So, you know, but that's an original thing. You see, if you got like a talent like that, if you're an artist or an artisan that does certain things, maybe you create certain crafts, arts and crafts, whatever, you know, you're original. That's why they have Etsy. I know that's what Etsy's all about. But you know, you probably, if you could, but again, you know, try to go into a market when you're doing stuff like this. Try to research stuff that there's not such a great demand for it. You know what I'm saying? You know, like the old saying goes in economics when going to school for business. Like they said, once the law of supply and demand is met, everything goes down. You know, you got to be like that one person at that 1% that's got that one particular item that people are looking for, and that's the hard part. But if you could be original, creative, thinker, and maybe do something a little off key, but not too off, you don't want to get yourself in a situation. But you know, to do something that where it's going to be beneficial to you, where you're saying, well, you know what, this looks like a sure thing. I was reading about this lady, Sarah something, I can't think of her name, Sarah Blake, I think it is. She did Spanx. She owns a company of Spanx. And from what I understand, reading that story, because I like entrepreneurial stories, I like to read how successful people make it in this business. And from what I understand, she took the Spanx, whatever, and she cut the feet off on them, right? And I guess now, instead of just on the feet, you could wear them like as leggings or whatever, and you could do. She made all these different tops and stuff for women. And if you ever want to read that story, just read about Spanx, and you'll know what I'm talking about. You can read a story about this. I think her name is Sarah Blake. Don't quote me on it though. I was reading on it a couple of days back, and she's a billionaire now. You know, she became a billionaire, and her product took off. But here's a lady that took an idea that's probably, you know, something that, you know, none of us would have thought about, because she ended up going on one of the shows there, talk shows, and they had Mark Cuban there from Shark Tank there, and she was there, you know, opposite sitting him, and he was talking about it, and I forget the guy who sits there. I think he's an ex-football player, I believe, and he's like, what did I think of that there? You know, sometimes, like, you know, it's like looking a gifted horse in the face. Like, you have these ideas, but the problem is people don't excel on it. They don't jump at the idea. They don't jump at it. You know, it's like you're sitting there and you're thinking, geez, you know, could that possibly work or could not? You know, there's so many different things out there, folks, to, you know, for your own originality, to be more creative. And, you know, and that's what I think the thing is with, even like with eBay, you know, and I'm not saying this to be funny or cute, but if you really think about it, and if I'm wrong, leave a comment in there, tell me, hey, you know, I think what you're saying is yay or nay, whatever. But for every one thing that you pick up at a thrift store or garage sale, yards, whatever, you know, Goodwill, Salvation, there's going to probably be tons of them out there. And let's face the facts, there is a lot of competition. There is, and it's getting like that more and more as time goes on each year. And I think that's why when you look at eBay, they're coming out with all these different, different policy plans and changes and stuff like that to their website, to, I guess to modify, to make things better, to make the system work better. Now it seems like if you look at the spring seller update for 2018, I think they're doing more things pointing to the sellers this time, where at one point they were pointing more towards the buyers. I'm not saying the buyers, the buyers are not in the equation, but it just seems to me that they're doing a lot of changes, and I think they're starting to realize that, as time goes on, it's getting to be more and more competitive. And like I said, I've been doing this, on and off since July of 1999. I got involved with it, and it was an on and off thing. That's why I don't have a big feedback, folks, to be honest with you. That's why I only have 1123 feedbacks, but let alone I get a lot of buyers that don't leave feedbacks, that's their business. They're not required to, they don't have to, but that's fine. But the thing is, as time goes on, we keep getting more and more into this here, and it just seems like it's getting a little difficult, and that's why I try to tell people, who want to get involved with this here, proceed with caution. Don't take that plunge just yet. Now, today, whenever you listen to eBay radio, and it should be that way, you're always going to hear positive talk coming out of that radio show, and most likely it should, because it is eBay radio talk show, right? So you're not going to get people. Very rarely you'll hear somebody come on and kind of like semi-complain, but not complain. You know what I'm saying? Like they're kind of like, a little innuendo kind of thing. Like they talk a little about it, but it's not like, it's always 100. It's almost like 99.9% positive. And you want to go. You want to be inspired. You want to go. When you listen to that radio, it comes on. I'm on the East Coast. It'll come on today, California time. I think it's 11, right? I think 11 o'clock in the morning. I think on their time it starts. And over here in the East Coast, I'm in New York. It goes on at 2 o'clock. But no, 2 o'clock. I believe it's 2 o'clock. It goes on, and and you'll listen to it. Today's with the Power Cell hour, so it goes on from 2 o'clock to 5, and on Thursdays it goes from 2 to 4, I believe. Yeah, it's something like that. I know it goes on Tuesdays and Thursdays, and today it'll be a long show. It's usually, I think, 9 segments, but they're broken down. They break it down. And they have top-rated sellers come on. You could call in if you got questions. I don't. I've been listening to it religiously since I've gotten involved with this business. I like to hear what they have to say. And sometimes you get good advice from them, too. Okay? Like I said, I like eBay. It's a nice platform. To be honest with you, as I stated in that video I did yesterday about eBay fees outpacing the sales, that is true. I do have a big bill coming up from eBay, and as I always say, and that's another thing I talk about, if there's more money going out than coming in, that poses a problem. And that's why, like I said, that's why for me personally, I put a spending freeze on my sourcing. And people that's why when I hear people saying, sometimes you'll hear other resellers, you got to go out every day, you got to source every day, you got to do this, you got to do so many listings a day, and so on and so forth. But if you're tying that money up, if you're on a strict budget, folks, and I don't like to sound like a broken record, but if you're on a strict budget, you got only so much money in your little piggy bank, so to speak, and you keep tapping away at it and buying and sourcing every day, and that merchandise that you have there is not moving quick enough, you're going to be sweating at the end of the month, especially if this is your sole income. You're going to be hurting, and you're going to be nervous. There was one reseller I was listening to. I'm not saying to be funny, but the person's like saying, I got a tax bill coming up. I need sales. And then the person's worried. They got bills to pay, and if the merchandise is not moving, this is why I try to tell people, if you've got merchandise, I got 350 something items there, and if it's not moving, what good is it? You could source every single day. And people say, well, maybe the more you keep sourcing, maybe the more people you'll be hiring the search engines, and maybe you'll get more sales that way. Yeah, but what about the old stuff that's there? That's still sitting there. That's still money that's tied up. And this is what people, I think, don't realize. People feel like right away, if I got 2,000 listings on there, I'm going to make a killing. I'm going to share a quick story really quick. I was listening to, again, on YouTube. This guy was a school teacher, and he was being interviewed by another person about how he got involved with I think he's an eBay seller, I believe. And I found it kind of amusing. He's talking. He was a school teacher, which, to be honest with you, he quit. And I remember hearing the story. His wife wasn't crazy about it because, first off, as a school teacher, that's a state job, I believe. You got great pension. You get the summer off, I believe. You got a lot of nice perks with it. I mean, me personally, if I was a school teacher, I would stay there until the time comes to retire. Apparently, the story goes, this guy quit his job, all right, and well, he was doing, I guess, eBay on the side prior, and I guess he felt that he made a substantial amount of income, and that he was going to give it up, and he did. He quit his job. His wife was mad. No, she didn't divorce him or yell at him and throw pots and pans at the guy, but he ended up quitting for the job, if I understand, quitting his school teaching job, and he's telling the story, and what I found kind of amusing is I think he had 6,000 listings. I think I talked about this in one of my other videos, and the guy had 6,000 listings, and he's telling the guy that's interviewing him, this is the seller now, telling the guy that's interviewing him, yeah, there's 6,000 listings, only got 5 sales. And I was like, wow, I couldn't believe it. I said, 6,000 listings, and that's all the guy had? And he goes, and he's telling, now the seller's telling the guy who's interviewing him, that's pretty bad, isn't it? He's like, well, whatever he said. But of course, I mean, so when I hear people saying you got to have all these listings and keep listing and keep listing, think about this, folks. It's a double-sided blade here. First off, you're tying your money up in your sourcing. All right, now you say, well, you got to have stuff to source. That's true. But at the same time, that monthly eBay bill is coming in every month. eBay gets their money. So if eBay is promoting, buy, do this, do that, keep buying, keep listing stuff, hey, if I owned eBay, I'd want you to do the same thing. Okay? I mean, they're making their money. eBay's getting out that, I think in the middle of this month, eBay's going to get a nice big fat bill from me. They're going to get a nice payment from me. Okay? Because I'm on their website. And that's what I'm trying to say. If I'm going to keep sourcing and keep putting more money into this business and I can't move stuff out, but yet I have bills coming in, that's what I'm trying to say, folks. If you got more money going out monthly than coming in, and you got to start tapping into your resources, or if you have a little savings on the side, you're going to be nervous at the end of the month. Because I know for a fact it bothers me. Okay? And sometimes it's like a rat race out there. You're sitting there trying to do what you got to do. You're saying, geez, that's why yesterday I said to myself, this is ridiculous. I said, the sales are really dead. So I went there. They have a bulk editing tool on eBay. And I clicked the button on there. I just put a lot. I checked off a lot of the ones I want to be with free shipping. Not that it makes a difference. It didn't boost my sales up any either. Okay, be honest with you. I did that there. I said, let's see what happens. So I did that, and within probably an hour or so, I got, I think, a total of 4 little stragglers, and the sales were nothing to write about. What I made in those sales is not even going to cover a percentage of that bill. That's how big the eBay bill is. Okay. Now people may say, well, how big could this buyer's bill? I'm not going to sit here and tell you my personal things of that nature, but it's big enough. It's big for me. Okay, it's big enough for me. And again, if you're a person that's going to keep shelling money out and keep sourcing and buying and putting into this here, and your ROI, return on investments, is not working for you, you're going to be a little nervous. And that's why I'm trying to tell people, I'm not telling you guys, or people that have dreams, to get involved with this here, to give up. By no means. Okay, I'm still in it. Okay, I'm still in it, and I'm gonna hang in there as long as I can. If it gets to a point where I can't make a substantial income, then I have to go back to the 9 to 5. And the only reason why, if you're new to this channel, the only reason why, let me share the story with you, is back in June of 2016, I got I got laid off from my company. 1,000 jobs went overseas. That's why I am here today, making this video, or making a lot of videos, because now I had the time to do it. Okay, and I'm gonna hang in there as long as I can. And if If I have to go back to a 9 to 5 job, I go back to a 9 to 5 job. But I'll still do eBay, but not as much. And I still will make videos, but it probably won't be as much because, I'll be devoting my time to that, depending what kind of job it is. You come home from work, I'm not saying that's a hustle, but some people may say, well, you come home from work, you could devote a little time to it. Maybe you could do one video a week or a day, whatever. Right now, folks, to be honest with you, because YouTube took the monetization away, not that I was making money, I wasn't getting a check from YouTube anyway, but it would be nice if I could have, kept the monetization there, and it'd be nice to make this channel grow. That's what I'm really trying to do. I'm trying to make it grow. It would be, if I can make it grow where I could make an income from it, that'd be great. I'm not going to lie to you guys. I'd love to have 1 million subscribers. I'm sure all of you guys would feel the same way, where you can make a substantial amount of money, where you could do what you love to do, and and be happy with it. They say, do what you love to do, and the money will follow. Build it and it will come. All those pep talk things there, little sayings. You don't want to give up, though. I mean, that's one thing. You don't want to give up on your dreams. And I'm not telling people to give up on their dreams. I'm just saying, be careful. That's all. Watch what you're doing. If you're going to get involved in this business, do your research. Don't quit your day job. And the other thing I always say is, if you're going to go into a business, go into it as little as debt as possible. Meaning, if you have credit card debts, try to pay off your credit cards, get rid of them, or keep one card, but close the other ones out, because credit card debt is not going to do you any good. And if you have a car payment, try to pay it off, or pay it down, or pay it off. If you could pay it off, if you have a car payment, you can pay your car payment off and your credit cards. I'm not saying that's the magic, the silver bullet that's going to make everything work. But the thing is, when you have minimal debt like that, you don't have to worry. I'm not saying not to worry, don't get me wrong, but the stress will kind of subside a little, because you say at least you don't have to worry if you do go into this business and you are making somewhat of an income from it. You don't have to sit there saying, oh my God, I got my car payment, I got this, I got credit card debt. Try to go into this business with little as debt as possible. I know it sounds, for some people, say, well, that's easy for you to say. Maybe you're in a situation that's different. Before I got involved with this business, to be honest with you, I did pay my car off. I didn't buy an expensive car, so it was affordable to pay off. And I got rid of a lot of credit cards. I'm down to one credit card. That's it. So the debt load is not as big. Like I said, if I had the car payment, the credit card debt, stuff like that, that adds up. It adds up. And again, that's what I'm trying to say. If you're gonna get involved with this business, you want to source. If you're a person that says, well, you're giving good advice, but I'm going to still keep sourcing every day. Do it. Do what you want. But if you do source every day, if you do go out sourcing every day, maybe you might want to pick up one item, two, whatever, to list it. I ended up with almost up to 360 or 370 items at one point, and I was doing sourcing a lot. But when I started seeing things trickling in, let's just say, I'm throwing a number out there. Let's just say your inventory cost you, I don't know, $1,500 worth of inventory through sourcing, through thrift stores and this, that, and the other thing, whatever. Okay? If you could afford to tie that money up, that $1,500, or let's say a total of $2,000, and sit on it, more power to you. But the thing is, make sure you have enough money set aside for those slow moments, those slow days. Because let me tell you something, folks, it could happen. Believe me. I mean, I'm going through my own experiences with this situation, and it gets scary. Okay, and I'm not going to lie to you. I'm not going to sugarcoat and say, I did great this month. I'm not saying what the other people are saying is bad. Okay, a lot of people want to give pep talk. And again, I'm not trying to discourage anybody from going into this business. Go into it, but go into it with caution. That's all I'm saying. Proceed with caution when you get involved with this business. It's not as easy as people think. I think a lot of people think, well, I'll just buy a few items, I'll throw them out there on eBay, take pictures, put them up there, and I'll be okay. I'll become successful. You and probably a million other people on eBay are thinking the same thing. Now you might say, well, how about me? Am I thinking that way? I'm thinking of trying to make it on eBay or make this business grow. I'll just say this. There have been, thanks to eBay, I did hear this on eBay radio a while back, years back. There have been people that did use eBay, okay, where they built their business up and it led them into a brick and mortar place, a business. Or some people have their own website, whatever, their own business like that, e-commerce site. They totally got off of eBay, okay? So eBay was a stepping stone. So if people may say, well, is that the direction I'm pointing in? Folks, I'll be upfront and honest with you. If I could turn my website in to a business like this where I could sell my own stuff and to be off of eBay, I would do it in a heartbeat. And the only reason I say it is because the fees are choking me. I'm being upfront and honest. For a small-time seller, it's a lot, okay? And people may say, well, how much could you be? Believe me, it's a lot. It comes out to be a lot. I mean, every time I get those notifications from eBay, you could download your invoice. I'm looking, saying, oh, please, ain't gonna be big, ain't gonna be big. And I'm looking, it's like, holy smokes. I just gave that same amount, if not more, the month before. It's getting to a point, to be honest with you folks, and I'm saying this from the heart. It's getting to a point. The eBay fees are getting to like a cheap car payment. Really, I'm serious. That's how much it's coming out to be. It's like a cheap car payment every month. It's the same thing. And I don't know where they come up with these. I like when they show you the statistics of how much you made or whatever. Let me say something. When you have all your listings there and you see that big number on top, that's what you're asking for. Okay, they're just computing what you added on to what you're putting what you're listing your items for, the prices you're asking. A lot of people, I think, look at that and say, man, look at that number. If I sell all these things, that's how much money you got. Yeah, no, technically, theoretically, yes, you would. Well, not 100% because then you got your fees. PayPal, you're in search for your final value fees. Then you get your PayPal fees. That's just from eBay. Then you get your PayPal fees. Then you got your cost of materials, boxes, packing tape, bubble wrap and all that other stuff. That adds up. Do the math for yourself. That's all I'm saying. Do the math for yourself. But anyway, guys, I don't want to keep rambling on. I hope this eBay helped. I hope this reseller news helped out, and I hope that the information I just supplied. I mean, I'm sorry I'm rambling on. I just don't want to see people get taken. I mean, there's a lot of things out there. All I'm saying is, do your research. That's all. That's all I'm saying, folks. I'm not telling you quit this here or try to discourage you. Just do your research. It's they say the grass is always greener on the other side. It is, and I feel bad because out of all these people, companies that say all this stuff, I don't want to mention companies, but I mentioned the companies earlier that offer it, but I don't want to say anything derogative to make them look bad. But it's like everybody's doing that same thing. They're all getting on the bandwagon. It's like a big melting pot. We're all in it. It's like a big club, and you and I are welcome. We're all welcomed into this big club. But the thing is, it's like that story of the pie chart. You take a pie, you cut so many pieces out, and there's only so much is left out of it. You can only cut so much out of a pie. That's what happens. It's a big pie, but when you keep cutting pieces out, there's only so much of it left, and you're only going to be able to do so much with it. And I feel bad. I mean, I feel bad for myself because I want to make this thing work too. I have dreams. I was reading about Jim Carrey in my Facebook. Someone posted a thing on Jim Carrey, right? How he went through hard times in his life. His father lost his job. They were living in a Volkswagen, whatever, a camp or whatever, Volkswagen camp or whatever, and he wrote himself a check for $10 million, according to the story, and he put it in his wallet. He took it everywhere he went with him, and he never gave up. He was always determined to do what he had to do. And according to the story, and when I read it on Facebook, is later on when he started making movies, that's how much they were paying him, $10 million. So it had a happy ending to it. But in the video there that was showing you about that, like it says, you never give up on your dreams. No matter how hard these things may seem, never give up. And that's what I'm saying too. That's another thing. I'm not contradicting you guys, go contradicting myself. But no, even though everything I'm I'm sharing with you guys, don't ever give up on your dreams. I'm not. And as even though times seem very, blasé, I'm still going to keep doing what I'm doing. And if I do have to ever go back, like I said again, to a 9 to 5, I will always be selling on here and trying to improvise and make this business work somehow, some way. You got to find alternative ways of doing things. But I'm not going to give up. And the same thing with the videos. Back in February 20th, when they of this year, when YouTube was saying they're going to do away with the monetization because small creators like me who don't have 1,000 subscribers and don't have 4,000 hours of watch time, they're going to demonetize your channel. Did that stop me? Heck no. I'm still going to make videos. And you know what? Whether people watch them or not, that's totally up to them. I can't force people to watch these videos, but I'm still going to keep making them. I'm still going to keep doing them. If I could share things, this is another passion I like. I like doing videos. I like digital photography and I like videos. I like doing that stuff. I like sharing stuff like that. I like to do how-tos, do-it-yourself videos. I don't do a lot of them. I don't have a lot of them to do, but as time goes on, I'd like to, try to trip up this YouTube channel and make it a little more interesting. Maybe where I can get more YouTube subscribers or people to want to come back and say, hey, I want to watch that guy. He posted a new video. Like I said in my other video yesterday, my subscribers go up and down. 1 minute it's 194, 195, now it's down to 193. People probably bump off. They don't probably like the content I put out. Maybe it's not good enough for them. I don't know. It is what it is. It is what it is. Anyway, guys, have a great day. I will talk to you soon, probably in the next video. I wish you all the best. And for those who are going to pursue this type of business, I wish you all the best. Good luck to you. Remember what I said. Proceed with caution. Plan. Okay. Make sure you do a plan. And write everything down. Make sure you got all your finances in order before you go jumping into this here. What's that old saying? Don't put the cart before the horse. Don't, just make sure you got everything in place. You know what I'm saying? And I wish you all the best. Thanks again for stopping by and checking out the Reseller News. My name is Rjpasini, and I'll talk to you soon. Thanks, guys. Bye.